Okay, hello everyone. I'm just going to wait for a minute for people to hop on live, for Kirsten to come on so I can invite her in with me during this event. If you are watching the replay, please let us know. Put hashtag replay in the comments. And we will get started. So, how is everybody? If you are new to, oh, there we go. Okay. So, Kirsten. How are you? So glad you're here live with us. Yay, and Kirsten's here.
Hi!
Yay, we did it! Okay, we're so happy you all are here with us. And oh, my mom's here too.
Hi, Mom.
And we're gonna get started on this live. So first, two of my favorite Pete's. Oh, we love you,
Hi,
Vicky.
Vicky. We love you too.
So I'm gonna lay the foundation as a 5-1. That's really important. So we're gonna do some short introductions of who we are. If you're new to our world, just a refresher. If you know us. So I'll go first. My name is Lauren Wenzell. I'm a 5-1 mental projector. My coaching company is called Transfiguration Coaching. I have been studying human design. I got initiated in 2018, found out I was a mental projector, and then I've been going through the certifications, learning deep dive the last, I want to say like 3 to 4 years. I'm certified through levels 1 through 4, the Dream Rave, PHS, relationship synastry, and anything and everything you can think about human design. Hello Michelle, so glad you're here with us. I have been learning about astrology since 2019 and really getting into the transits. Hi Triple Venus, hello beautiful, so glad you're here. I've been really incorporating the transits with my design with astrology pretty heavily since last year. And it has radically helped me live more in alignment with my design and helping guide other people's as well. And so knowing about the astrology with the specific gates and the energy of the transits and all the things. Hi, Nancy. So glad you're here with us. It really gives us these tools to break through what the matrix tries to suck us into, or what certain programming is still gripping us, or past trauma, or whatever you want to call it. And so I met Kirsten through Vicky and Raquel's. They did an amazing course about the dream rave and the codons and the amino acids and health vulnerabilities in human design that Vicky, she found such an amazing breakthrough in this system. And I was just kind of there to help guide. I was invited to kind of hold this space and participate as well, a little bit behind the scenes and with the group as well. And then me and Kirsten, we connected there the first time, and then we also got the invitation to connect more because Kirsten is amazing, and she'll tell you a little bit about herself and her amazing genius and what she was wanting support with. And so we have a mutual friend that linked us together again closer, and then this beautiful relationship has just been exploding. All these things that we are wanting to create for our fractal, our community, it like the sky is beyond the limit. Like we're going past that at this point, and we're just here to really provide all the information transformation that we know from our personal experience with these systems and what we're here to give to you guys and how you can benefit it. So that's a little bit about me. Kirsten, I'm going to pass it off to you.
Thank you, lovely. So, hey everyone, for those that don't know me, my name is Kirsten Wilson, as Lauren said, and I am an empowerment strategist. I weave human design, gene keys, a little bit of genius code. There's some success a codex in there. There's some astro in there. And what I do is I really try and help female entrepreneurs to really stand in their power and understand how they can be more successful or find different elements within themselves, within their life purpose or their business. And I do this through my one-on-one and mentoring, and I have some various programs as well. And it's really just about unleashing their inner power and how they can elevate their business, because I'm more about the business side. So I guess a little bit of my journey is that I was first introduced to human design first in 2020 by the beautiful Jess, and I had my reading. And then from there, within a couple of days, of course, like a typical manifesting generator, I was straight down the rabbit hole and was looking at all the things. And I came across this amazing 6-2 Facebook group. And I'm a line 6 and a line 2 in human design. And that sort of really started to help me unpack and understand some of the things that I needed to evolve and move forward whilst we were in some really crazy times globally. We had some very strict lockdown policies here in Australia, and they were known as the harshest in the world. So I live in that city, and yeah, it was a very, very, very interesting time. So beyond that, for the last nearly 5 years, it's coming up 5 years for me since I've been understanding human design and studying. I have had the opportunity to study under various people, but I have a beautiful mentorship now. And shout out to Raquel Rayner and Davidian. Thank you for all your support last year. I've been in their mentorship program, and it's a mastermind program, and it's been amazing. And so from there, it was about 6 or 7 months before I was introduced to gene keys. And the gene keys I found was really the missing link for me. In human design, whilst I understood the basics, I studied various different programs, and whilst I loved them, there was still something a little bit missing. And what I found was it was the yin to the yang, right? So the feminine side of the human design, the very masculine side, to human design, the masculine side, and then the femininity, the feminine side to gene keys. And I really needed both of those to help me really unpack all of it. So that's a little bit about me. I have been on various Gene Keys retreats. I'm currently in the Venus retreat for my second time around, and I've been doing these amazing retreats officially through them, and they're really quite life-changing and empowering. So I really look forward to being able to share some of my wisdom as an MG, manifesting generator, and I'm an emotional manifesting generator. But we can talk more about that another time. But for now, I guess it's more about navigating the star codes for yourselves and really what we can do from here. So thank you, Lauren.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Kirsten is a phenomenal Gene Keys guide, and that's something that I feel is so important with what I know about human design astrology, what she knows about human design, Gene Keys astrology. And she has all these other tools, of course, because she's a manifesting generator. So she can do all the things at once and then blend it all together. So what we have for you is going to be so epic, so fun. We just want to bring this to you to improve your lives, make it expand. And I truly believe that we connect with each other when the timing is right. And when we put that out to the universe of like, this is what I want to experience, this is what I want to learn more, and then bam, the universe responds and it says, okay, here you go. So we're so excited that you're here and that we get to introduce to you this upcoming 3-day challenge. So before we get into that, we want to go a little bit, just give you a little information about astrology, human design, gene keys, and the transits if you're completely new, if you have a little bit of understanding about one but not the other. So, oh, I think Lucille's here. Hi, Lucille.
Hi,
So glad you're here
Alicia.
with us. So, astrology is really about the zodiac, navigating the zodiac and the different seasons. So, right now we're in Pisces season, and this season is really, it's the last of the zodiac. So, we're really in the in between of, especially with the nodes in Pisces and Virgo. So that's a little bit deeper, but we're on the brink of this eclipse right now. So this energy is really potent. Pisces is asking us to detach. It's asking us to look more into our spirituality, into our true self, and seeing what we need to let go of. Connect more with our faith, our trust, and seeing what we're still, because the shadow side of Pisces is escapism, but the positive side is really being like using that spiritual awareness, having that mysticism in the 3D, in your everyday life. And so if you know your sun, your moon, your rising, please put it in the comments too. We want to get to know you. We want to know what you know about each of these things. Like, do you know your type in human design? Are you feeling familiar with gene keys? So make sure that you're participating, and so we can really tap in to see how we can support you and just connect on a deeper level. So with human design, then, it is a fairly relative new system. It's a little over 30 years that it has been birthed and brought onto the physical plane by Ra Uruhu. And it is this shift from the 7-centered chakra system now into the 9-centered being, which was shifted when projectors came onto the earth plane. So it's like, hey, we're new. Don't mind us. And hello. Live your vibrance. So glad you're here with us. And we've been in sort of this, the last like over 200 years of like how projectors, what are we doing here? And the time is, as we shift into 2027, we're really getting called to help with this huge global shift of how we can help guide the energy, because that is our job. We are made for the other, and we're here to help energy types or any sort of type to align to their theme. We don't want generators and manifesting generators to be slaves to their energy anymore. We are totally kicking out that paradigm, that story of like, if you don't want to use your energy to do da-da-da-da-da, let's not do that. Let's use it so you can feel really, really generative, that you feel in their satisfaction for manifesting generators, this peace and satisfaction of what you're doing. And so aligning to your human design is life-changing. It sees where you're vulnerable and taking in other people's energy and amplifying it, where the shadows are in your chart that you get to transcend, which Gene Keys is beautiful and helps with that, and how you get to be in relationships with other people. It is life-changing. I'm so grateful that this modality has fell into my lap. And at the same time, it's been super triggering during the whole process, because that's the journey, right? Like, I can't tell you how many times people will be like, oh, I don't know about human design, and complain. And it's like, yes, I've been there. I totally understand. And anytime that I've tried to live outside of my strategy and authority, the universe is like, what are you doing? I gave you this. It always goes back to the basics. So human design tells us so many different things and details, and the fundamentals are 100% so important for us. I always go back to the basics. And lastly, with the transits, so the transits is on a whole other level right now. I feel like this piece is barely getting seeded into the collective. Like this is the leading edge information. So we have the astrology right now of like, okay, we're in Pisces season, but the sun. So the sun will go through a specific gate for 6 days because it goes through each line number. And so right now you're getting a really awesome preview of where the last day of the gate 22, but since Kirsten is in Australia, so we're telling you we're going international. I'm in Los Angeles, California, in the United States. Kirsten is in Melbourne, Australia. So if you're in the present with me in Los Angeles, you get to tune into the future. How cool is that? And if you're in Australia, you're reflecting on the past. So I really love this sort of like perspective shift with time because I'm all about that. And so we're going to tell you a little bit about this current transit we're in. And Kirsten has a lot of information too with the lunar eclipse and the moon gates that I haven't seen anybody else talk about. So Kirsten, I really want to hear what you have to say about the gate 22 or the gene 22.
Yeah,
What the
22.
was for this as we're
Mm.
at the last line, because now we're looking to the next gate and then what that gate has in store for us, and then the moon.
Yeah, so currently, as Lauren said, we're in the last day, which is called line 6. And so there's six lines in the I Ching, which we haven't spoken about yet, which is part of human design and also Gene Keys, and it's in the astrology as well. But we'll get into that another time. So we're in day 6, line 6, and so with 22, what we've done is we've gone from the shadow of being in dishonor and moving in through with graciousness towards grace, and how we can work, be, feel more graceful, but deep within love. And what is it that we really feel is from the deep heart of being able to understand what's going on in our lives, in others' lives. And then I'm in Melbourne, in Australia, we're actually currently in part of day 1 of 36.
Oh yeah,
And
that's
36,
36. Yeah.
yeah, and 36 is going from turbulence, right? So the shadow of turbulence. So we've gone from grace, being in a really ecstatic state of love, to going into the shadow of turbulence with humanity towards compassion. So what's turbulent in your life, or what's coming up, maybe perhaps that you feel the energy of turbulence with humanity? It's all about the collective, right? It's about everyone. And how can you move more towards compassion? How can you be more compassionate for the collective, for humanity? So that's 36. And I really love, I've got something here that I'd like to read out for 36. It says, compassion is a language understood by all, so let us speak it daily. So if you contemplate that and sit with that and think about how that can be something that can be in the energy for the next collective 6 days, because we're going to follow the sun, and the sun will be in 36. So these transits are based on how the sun is transiting every 5.5 to 6 days. And with the moon energy is a completely different energy, right? So the moon, we're going into this lunar moon, the blood moon, but that blood moon, lunar moon, is in gate 6. So if you look at gate 6 in your human design profile, if you have one, and let us know, do you actually have gate 6 in your human design profile or in one of your spheres in Gene Keys, if you're familiar with that as well? Would really love to know, because what happens is when the sun is transiting in certain gates, the collective feels that energy. When you have it in your profile or in your blueprint, you actually feel it more consistently, right? Rather than just when it's transiting through the sun. But with the moon, we feel a completely different energy. And so I'd really love to know, for those that have the six, gate six, in any of their profiles, how is that showing up for you as we go through this blood moon? It's going to be an interesting one. It's going to be coming through in the next 24 hours because it's the 13th here, right? And it's actually on the 14th. So technically it's tomorrow for me. So it'll be another day, 2 days for you in the US. So let us know. Is there anything else there that I missed, Lauren?
I love when we were talking the other day when you were telling me about it, the description that you said, because I was like, I was kind of getting in a little bit of fear about it, like, oh my gosh, 36 and 6, like these gates are all off the emotional center, so it's
Mm,
an emotional time as well. um,
mm.
but you said something that we sort of were moving out of this energy, and like with, I think you said like the combustion or something, like it was shifting into. Can you go a little bit more into that with what you shared?
Um, I don't recollect the conversation, and that's an MG, right?
The more you open, I
But it,
heard like most of it.
so, so bringing back some familiarity to the conversation from what I can remember, it is about understanding that there's a polarity, right? And when we're transiting through a sun gate, as we do every 5 to 6 days, and then you also have the shadow of the moon coming in because it's an eclipse season, it can really be extremely impactful. And
Especially
right,
36 and 6, because that the
correct.
shadows are conflict and crisis.
Yeah.
But since we're in this eclipse season right now, so time collapses during eclipse. Um, a lot of astrologers and other groups that I've been in while learning about astrology suggest that it's a really good time to surrender and just follow the flow of, it's like everything that we have been building up in our vortex, in our manifestation, in our intentions. It's like, okay, this is the make or break time. Whatever isn't resonating with, that is aligned to what you want to manifest, it's going to go out the door like in 2 seconds
Mm,
at this point.
mm,
And then so other doors can open that have been waiting for you. However, sometimes with manifestation, and something that I've been and experiencing myself, is like, okay, can you stay in alignment and not get distracted by the obstacles or the things that are saying, okay, no, it's not quite a right match. Sometimes we can get too focused on that versus like, okay, thank you, and then next. Okay, okay, thank you, and then what's here waiting for me? I think that's the biggest shift in our success journey,
mm,
because
mm,
the human mind will come in and be like, oh, and all the stories, right, of like,
mm,
oh, it's not for me, it's not possible, and then we stop. And so what Kirsten and I are bringing, and then we're going to go a little bit more into this in a second, is not only astrology, human design, G keys, transits. We also have been masters in practicing mindset, manifestation, shifting, collapsing time in the quantum, because that's where we are shifting. It's like it's barely being seated in the collective with this knowledge, and it's the perfect time because this is the change of the wheel right now. So I want to go back a little bit to read people's chats because I know they've been sharing. So Nancy says she's a Cancer Sun, Aquarius Moon, Pisces Ascendant, 4/6 splenic projector. Beautiful. The triple Venus, Taurus Ascendant, Moon, and Libra Sun. Amazing. Do you know your human design by any chance? Live Your Vibrance is 1/3 sacral generator. Pisces Sun, Capricorn Moon, Cancer
And
Ascendant.
that's the beautiful
That's who
Candace.
I thought it was. I'm like, that must be her. Yeah.
Hey, Candace.
Glad you're here with us. Lucille is Pisces Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Virgo Rising. Amazing. I love that. 1-3 emotional generator. Yes. Got another, or emotional projector. Got another projector in the house. Trends here.
Hey, Trin.
Uh, says interesting, so much upheaval. Absolutely. Lucille has the gate 6 in line 1 in her Earth. Do you
Mm-hmm.
know if your personality Earth, right, Lucille? Nancy says, sorry, my Wi-Fi is iffy today. Keeps going in and out. Mercury retrograde. We're in the shadows. We're about to go into it. The triple Venus says, I'm pretty sure that's my only heart gate that's open.
Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, my heart is completely open too in my human design. Nancy says, no gate 6 in my chart. So Twin says 6 in my personality Mars. Awesome. Don't apologize, Nancy. Tech, all the things, like it can be, it's tricky. So we totally get it. We're so glad you're
We
here.
get
Yeah.
it. We had a little bit of it before we started.
Yeah. Hi, lady. Hello, Candace. The triple Venus is alchemist, sacral general. Awesome. Yes, bringing that beautiful energy, sacral energy, personality. Okay, awesome. Yeah. So with Merc retro, Schumann resonance. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, the Schumann resonance is really interesting at the moment, right? I was looking at it last night online, and some of the vibrations and what's coming out is so intense. It's
Yeah.
kind of like we're moving from what have we really deeply been wanting to move into? What have we been trying to birth?
Hmm.
And this is the moment,
Yeah.
right? And that's why we're here
Yeah.
doing this, because we've been working on what is it that we really want to bring to the collective. What is it really what we want to bring to, to others, to help them step into helping humanity within their own collective, right? And so this is like a cataclysmic time right now in these next few days with this transit, but also with the lunar moon and the blood moon. And it's really helping you to understand that you can actually step into what it is that you've been wanting to birth for. And it's a collective energy for some time now. It's not just the last month or so, for example.
Hmm.
It's been some time. So yeah, let us know if there's anything there that you've been stepping into, or you've stepped into, that you're birthing. We'd really love to know. Really love to know what it is, that there's something that's really on that big wish list, that that you can really step into yourself and be yourself. And that's something that has been a little bit scary for me. I've always worked in the corporate world, and now I'm sharing esoteric things. I mean, what is going on?
Yeah.
you know but it's a passion of mine, and it's been a passion of mine for several years now, and it's something that I deeply love and I enjoy. And so why wouldn't I want to share it with everybody, rather than staying behind closed doors and not saying anything about it?
Uh,
So I think that's,
line 10
I think,
wants to
so
do
yeah.
sometimes. The gate, line
Oh,
6.
your birthday. Amazing.
Yes,
Happy birthday for tomorrow.
Jill. Yay, birthday queen. Yes, you've been getting initiated, girl. Oh my goodness. And then with this lunar eclipse, the universe is talking to you. It's really initiating you deeper. And I wanted to mention how human design plays into this with
Mm,
our different types. So the thing with human design and how it really, really helps us as we're navigating astrology, the transits, these changes, all the things. So right now we're about to go into Mercury retrograde. Right now we're in Venus retrograde. We're going to go to eclipse season, all of these things. We still want to remember our strategy and our authority. So the thing that I see the most in like self-development, motivational speakers, coaching, this and that, is that we are getting told to just initiate and go for things. So that works about for 9 to 10% of people. The other 90%, we have a different strategy. And so I'm a projector. My strategy is to wait to be recognized and wait for the invitation, and then use my inner authority to see if it's an aligned invitation I get to accept. So without this knowledge, with the conditioning, with what I would just think is common sense is, okay, well, I want to create this and this and this. I'm going to do this and this and this. The universe will then be like, nope, that's not how you manifest. That's not how you use your energy. And with human design, it's like a humbling teacher, especially for projectors, because I'm just going to say projectors have it the hardest. Okay. And that's why I'm here for my projectors. I'm here to be there with you and walk you through, because I freaking get it. It can be really, really challenging, triggering, and sometimes it just feels like it's not fair. But on the other side is your empowerment and knowing how sacred your energy is, how sacred your insight is. And so it's not getting trapped in those stories of scarcity, of, oh, I'm going to miss out on this opportunity. Da, 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 da. Yeah, those stories will be there, but the universe is like, no, I got you. Trust in your strategy and authority. Oh,
Yeah, and that's why you have me, right? You have that MG
yeah.
for the
And
projectors.
project types, they have a very, very sacred relationship, especially in business, because projectors, we're not here to do business by ourselves. I'm sorry, I've tried it. We don't have a defined sacral. So that's the thing. And business is defined, is run on energy too. And so we're going to give you all these things, all these tools. If you're an entrepreneur, if you're creative, if you're into human design, wanting to expand in consciousness, we are going to give you all these tools so you can implement these for your benefit. So with these different changes in astrology, the transits, you always want to make sure that you're following your strategy and authority.
Mm.
If you're not a manifester, noticing if you're initiating, and then what's the lesson that gets to be learned.
Mm.
And I'm still learning. It's not something
Yeah.
that I've really it gets better and better, and then I learn something, So, and that's just the thing that we go through while we're here on this earth, right? So
Mm.
that's something that I'm super passionate about, and that I want to continue to share with my community. So Candace says, I feel this. I think it's healing circles for me. It will lead to retreats. Also putting my energy work online. I'm feeling so called to move mountains. Amazing. I love this so much, Candace. I know that you're doing this and that you will continue to do this and expand, because
Yeah.
yeah, your
It's
energy is magical.
That's beautiful, Candice. Knowing you too, I can really see you facilitating those healing circles, and in even day retreats, mini retreats is something, yeah, amazing. It's these times that I wish I was on the other side of the globe with you, ladies, with my North American
Right.
friends,
I'm gonna have to
to
some international retreats. I already have
yes.
a vision. I already have that.
We've already been discussing about how some international retreats can happen over here in the Southern Hemisphere and over in the Northern Hemisphere with those of you here that are in our collective, in our fractal collective. So watch this space.
Yeah. So some key things to think about in the next week as we're going through this shift and the transit and astrological shift is, am I following my strategy and inner authority? So if
And
I'm
do
a
you know what they
yeah,
are as well?
know what they are.
Yep. Let us
Don't
know if you
yeah, we
don't.
can help.
Yeah.
We'll make sure. Um, am I waiting if I'm a generator and waiting to respond? If I'm a projector, am I waiting for recognition? If I'm waiting, am I waiting for the invitation? Am I jumping the gun on something? That's something that I kind of struggle with, that I really have been invited to go deeper and deeper in my waiting. Projectors, are we, while we're waiting, it's not just like waiting and doing nothing and kind of just tuning out. Is, am I waiting and focusing on my mastery? So I have to tell you that I've been studying human design for 7 years now, and it's just energetics. Like, I'm not going into judgment. Like, this is just objective what I've seen. Like, some other types who kind of know it a little bit or have like a year or two like under the belt, and they start sharing, they're in their satisfaction, so people will come to them because it's energy, right? And it's like, ooh, what is this? Tell me all the things. And so they can really take off. Meanwhile, a projector, their energy is very, very different, because we're here to be a master of the system. So if we're not a master, which takes at least 7 years, the energy and the frequency is just off. And so people, and it's not personal, they just won't energetically be brought into that space. And I've seen it 100 times. Projectors, we know the most about so many things, but it's like, we, that level of mastery takes a lot of dedication and trust. And so it's like, okay, well, I'll just learn something else. And so it's like something else will learn for like a couple of years, right? And then it's like, okay, well, that's not working, so I'm gonna learn something else. And I really loved it. It was like a jack of all trades but master of none. And so projectors, I know it takes time, and that's why Ra, he had a scholarship program for projectors, because he really saw this as like, yeah, they this is for them to be the masters of this system, because it takes that extra time. But then once you're that master and you embody in that frequency and that knowledge that you're here to be a master of, it doesn't have to be human design. It could be accounting. It could be something completely different. You will be recognized, and your energy, you will magnetize those invitations. But it's all about more about your being, your mastery, and not so much about what you're doing, because the doing comes from the energy types. And so it's like making sure you have those aligned relationships as well. So that manifestors, are you initiating? Sometimes with manifestors, since their aura is closed and repelling, and other people can be intimidated or this and that, then they shut down their power. And then they feel like, okay, well, I should just wait. And it's like, no, you gotta feel into your authority, whether it's splenic, whether it's emotional, whether it's from your ego, of, okay, this is what I need to initiate, this is what I need to inform, you know? And then reflectors, are you waiting a full 28-day lunar cycle before making really big decisions? And tracking for reflectors are super beneficial, because it will really help you tap into your yeses and nos throughout the day, since you're lunar being.
Yeah, and I think this is, an ideal space for reflectors, because it's super, super important for them to be able to follow the transits and understand the transits and deeply embody them, because it really helps them to step into their inner authority and really understand what those yes and no's are for them. And that's coming from friends that are reflectors and observing them and watching them and really understanding what really helps them to be able to feel in alignment with themselves and what they're offering in this world, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
So Lauren, I'd really love to talk about when we're going to be speaking next, and also we have some little prizes
Yeah.
as well that we were talking about also.
Yeah. Um, Thanks so much for that invitation, for that segue. I was just going to get into it, which I'm so excited about. So this is the intro. We start the first day of this free virtual 3-day challenge next week. So it's going to be Wednesday in the US. March 19th,
Mhm.
3 Pacific. And then in Australia, it's going to be Thursday, March 20th, 9 a.m. Australian time. And so, what we will be going over is the transits, the astrology. We have a very exciting prize that we are going to offer as you participate in this challenge. So, if you want to participate and you want to enter to win, so make sure that you like, follow, and comment. Um, my Instagram page, so this page, Kirsten's Instagram page, and then our Cosmic Harmony HD page, Instagram page. And all the details will be in the description of this live. And make sure that you share the event. So anybody that you think would be interested, it could be on your story, your socials, could be you sending a message to somebody. Um, and then make sure that you tag us and then you comment that you shared so we can enter you in the drawing. We want to make sure that we have your name so we know that you're participating. And I don't want to announce what the prize is because it's so good and I really want to get you guys in anticipation because it's really going to blow your mind.
She
It's,
can't even say it. She's so excited.
it's going to be, it's really, really good. So during the 3-day challenge, we'll be going over the transits. We're going to be going over the, if you want to know specifics for your chart and how it's showing up in the transits for you, send us your information or your chart so we can track it and we can give you some feedback and how to navigate and some guidance.
Yeah, it's like some little mini readings through the challenge. So we'd really love to be able to gift those to you and to be able to show you some of the insights that perhaps we see you may know, but maybe we could expand on that for you a little bit more. So that's going to be
Yeah.
fun, really fun.
Yeah. Oh, it's on your birthday. We got birthdays coming up. So exciting, Candace. Yes. Casey hearing us here. Hello. So glad you're here with us. Um, okay, so yeah, the challenge is gonna be really good. Anything else that I missed about the challenge?
No, I don't think so. I think you
Okay.
covered everything.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little bit like this, but more expanded, going deeper into the gates, the astrology, giving some feedback, and then the personal little mini read.
Oh, just that it will be back on this
Yeah,
platform,
yeah,
and if not, we'll let you know. But at this stage, that's where we're sharing from. So we hope that you're able to come along and participate same time, but next
yeah.
week.
And so, what is launching all of this in this challenge is that the beginning of Aries season, I want to say around that time, we are going to launch our Cloud of Membership. I'm so excited about this. We will have weekly Zoom calls going over the transits, the astrology, igniting you and aligning you to your human design. We're going to do mindset work. We're going to do meditation. We're going to do all the things to really create and birth this collaborative membership and putting all our tools into this. And so if you want to get on the wait list onto that, just let us know. You can comment waitlist. You can private message one of us or both of us so we can know that you want to be there, and that's really really exciting and I can't wait. um
Yeah.
what Anything else on that, Kirsten?
No, unless there's any questions from anyone that we have missed, and I've been looking, I can't see any there. Otherwise, yeah, we really look forward to seeing you same time, same place next week. And shout out, send your charts to us, and if you don't, let us know. We can help you out there, and we'd love to be able to offer any insights into what we see based on navigating the star codes within your own profiles and charts. So,
Will show up very different for each person. So like the sun could be conjunct one of your placements, and so that will be a really positive aspect versus it might be in opposition, and so it could be creating this push and pull where you get to lean into.
Mm.
And so this be a replay on IG. I had to take a phone call. Yeah, Vicky. So this will be replay up here, and then we're also gonna upload it onto YouTube. So people who are not on Instagram or as active, so people have this information as well. So really good question. Thanks for that. And if you want to, you guys are so welcome. Thanks so much for being here. And last, yeah, so drop any comments. If you have any questions, your biggest takeaways from this. And in the meantime, if you want to connect with one of us and get a personalized reading, Kirsten, are you offering anything at the moment?
Yeah, just the same as you is that if they'd like to have a personalized reading, both of us offer those services. So just reach out, whatever you feel called or who you feel called to. We would love to be able to help you, but this is really about helping you embody your own energy and following the transits and really navigating those star codes within you so that you can step forward and be the person you were born to be, right? And so we really feel that that's something very, very important that we can give some insight into for others from what both Lauren and I've learned from very different lives and from very different types, and really share our wisdom on what we've learnt over those years. Like Lauren said, it's how many years now, Lauren, since you started learning human design?
I went through my first cycle of deconditioning.
Yeah, 7 years, right? Crazy, amazing. And I'm 4 going into my 5th. So I've got a little way to go. But as a 6-2, I'm coming off the roof too. So we'll talk about that another time also. So I'm really stepping into my leadership role, and
She's amazing
yeah.
with holding space, with asking really good questions, with going through the gene keys. She's amazing. If you're wanting to go into gene keys, and is your services in your links as well?
They are, yes,
So,
yeah,
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 check out our links. Our services are listed there. We each bring our own genius to each of them. It gives
yeah.
all the descriptions, information. If you have any questions, just reach out to any of us. And the Triple Venus says, love all this. The week of the eclipse, have to pay attention to all the opportunities. Thanks for reaching out. Yeah. Yay. So exciting. I know this is so good. Once you start going, you're not gonna want to stop. And I'm still going, and I love it.
Thank you all for joining us, and we really look forward to seeing you next week.
Yes, thank you all. Love you.